I can honestly say I've never been so excited to see yak before.
Oh my god! Bloody hell, I think I'm in a bit of a danger zone. Ooh, kush, 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 kush. Kush, 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 kush.
The yaks are in fact quite friendly, just as long as you don't harass them, and it's actually altitude sickness you need to watch out for.
Even climbing up this hill was tiring enough already. Remember, 4,718 meters above sea level. 师傅，走吧，走吧。哎呦。
When you're up at high altitudes, it's important not to get too excited. I'd highly advise against running and jumping around, because I did, and afterwards my head felt like it was being crushed in a vice. Medicines like Hongjingtian can help, but it's best to just rest well and not overexert yourself. Luckily for me, I dozed off for a while and woke up a lot better.
We're still 4,000 meters above sea level. I'm so hungry I just wanted to grab a yak and bite into them, but we finally found a place to eat. 我看你们吃的非常香哈，
非常好吃啊，
很好吃哈。
对的对的。
你们是从哪来的？
我们从香港来的。
香港。
对呀。
Alright, so this is a local delicacy. It's xue yu hot pot, which is, I believe it's snowfish, a type of fish that you can only find this high up, 4,000 meters up in the surrounding area. Honestly speaking, it's quite a luxury to have this kind of food here, but if you do come, you must have a taste. Bon appetit!
It really wasn't cheap at 180 RMB per half kilo. But nothing beats the feeling of having spicy fish hot pot after you've just spent the last 2 hours on a cold and windy mountain plateau. Speaking of which, the weather on the next stretch of our road was proving to be just as grim.
Oh! When we're this high up in the mountains, the weather changes drastically, and down there is Litang. I can't see it because it's now snowing, but very soon we'll be down there, the world's highest town.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Litang. I've never spent a night at 4,000 meters above sea level, but it's well worth taking a few days out to explore Litang.
I didn't expect Litang to be this busy, and walking down the street you can still see the locals wearing their typical Tibetan outfits, and even the culture here is very well preserved. But you still can find hotels and hostels, but if you do stay here, I would highly recommend that you don't shower on your first day so you don't fall ill. The villagers start their first circumambulation at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's the first thing they do when they wake up. So if you do want to see this, I would advise you to get up early.
A circumambulation is basically the act of walking around a sacred object such as a stupa, and I was told the best place to see this is here at Baitar Park. People do these circumambulations in order to gain merit for a better rebirth, and they also spin prayer wheels along the way, which have the same effect as reciting mantras. Litang itself plays an important role in Tibetan Buddhism. Several High Lamas reincarnated here, the most notable of which was the 6th Dalai Lama, who actually wrote this love song, and for whom this park was apparently built to commemorate.
So we're at the entrance of the Changqingchun Kur Lamasery here in Litang, and these guys are here busy working on their mani stones, and this is pretty cool. And over there you can see this massive mound of mani stones and a huge chorten as well. I'm going to go inside and have a look at the Lamasery.
You'll often find piles of these colourful mani stones lying around. Most are inscribed with the 6-syllable mantra of Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra of the Bodhisattva of compassion. I've read that pilgrims carry these sacred stones and deposit them all over the landscape as votive objects. They're dotted around rivers, mountain passes, and in particular near places of religious importance. Just a little further on from the wall of mani stones is the huge fortress-like Changqingchun Kur Lamasery that overlooks Litang. Built in 1580 at the request of the 3rd Dalai Lama, this lamasery has thousands of monks in residence and is one of the largest Gelugpa or Yellow Hat sect lamaseries in China. Grand though it is, this impressive structure serves a very functional role and is visited daily by pilgrims. Inside is a world of incredible artwork, and though I'd be lying if I said I could recognise all the deities, I did at least make out 2 versions of Vajrapani, the Bodhisattva of Wrath, and several of the statues inside the main hall.
The Changqingchun Kur Lamasery is one of the most important lamaseries of the Gelugpa sect, and here you can find incredibly intricate statues, and this one is Tsongkhapa, the founder of the Gelugpa sect, and sitting next to him, the 4-armed version of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, and next to her is Manjusri, the Bodhisattva of wisdom. And you must remember that when you come here, you mustn't point, and if you are to refer to someone, you must point your palm up to show respect.
During a period of strife between the main sects of Tibetan Buddhism, the founder of the Gelugpa sect, Tsongkhapa, combined teachings from various schools into one clear path for his students to follow. Due to the popularity of his teachings, the Gelugpa sect emerged as the dominant one. Built with only the best materials and often redecorated, the murals inside the lamasery are highly acclaimed, and the statues are adorned with precious jewels. However, the most valuable treasure is held in a separate hall, off limits to visitors. When King Songtsen Gampo, the man credited with bringing Buddhism to Tibet, married a Nepalese princess in the 7th century, she brought with her an exquisitely decorated statue of the Sakyamuni Buddha. It is this 1400-year-old statue that stands as the centerpiece of this hall.
Oh wow, this is nice. Hold on, you can't see very clearly, but this is actually the footprint of the 3rd Dalai Lama who built this lamasery, and next to it, the footprint of the 7th Dalai Lama who was reborn here in Litang.
For Tibetans, religion is deeply ingrained in every aspect of daily life, and children are taught from an early age to respect its ideals. And of course, religion becomes all the more important on that most special day.
Locals told me I might be able to catch a Tibetan wedding, so I've actually come here to wait for the bride and groom. This is exciting.
This was a typical camper wedding, and everyone had turned out in their best attire. Campers are one of the 3 main subgroups of Tibetans, and their men are known for being handsome and fearless, and their women for being beautiful.
拉带当下大个师兄，确切一看了这当一个师兄。
They also take pride in their clothes, and the dress code today includes elaborately decorated robes and headwear and jewellery made of real gold, coral and other precious stones. An entire set may cost upwards of 5 million RMB, so these outfits are usually treasured heirlooms that are passed down through the generations. They're all family members such as brothers and uncles, and one was appointed to read out rites and perform ritual offerings. If you also get invited to a Tibetan wedding, you really must join in. But just also keep in mind that you should always respect their customs. All in all, Litong had been fantastic to us, and I feel like I've come away with a much better understanding of Tibetan culture. My only regret is that we didn't get to explore Litong's famous grasslands, but if you do want to see them, I'm reliably informed that they're at their best in summer.
As we entered the Gansu Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture, we visited Kangding and saw the best that autumn had to offer in Xinduqiao. We traversed over mountains over 4,000 meters high and spent a night in Litong, the highest town on earth. I had a great taste of Tibetan culture and also more than my fair share of altitude sickness. But our journey towards Shangri isn't even halfway through. I've had great expectations so far because the landscape has been amazing. So let's see what we'll see on the rest of our journey. I'm Turan, and I'll see you on the next episode of Travelogue. 好，师傅，走吧。See you guys later.